Yeah, lotion. You know. Mm. I get frustrated about a lot of things. I am the queen of complaints. And one of my chief complaints is women who have kids and are always talking about they're bored. I have two children. I am so grateful for them. They are a blessing. Some will even go as far as to say they are miracles. Because for years I was told that I could not have children. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, God, that just sounds so high school, doesn't it? I hated the dating phase. I really did hate the dating phase because I just felt like we're adults, right? So, like, oh, boyfriend, girlfriend, like, you're either betrothed or you're not. Anyway, he made it very clear in the beginning of the relationship that he wanted a lot of kids. And I told him, I'm so sorry, access denied. Well, anyway, after about 5 years of due diligence and praying, I popped out vulgar Junior. Yeah, he's a very healthy, easy pregnancy, very easy pregnancy. And then I got pregnant with Jazz, and oof, I mean, very healthy pregnancy. But that girl, that girl put me to work. I had to eat the right foods. I even had to be around the right people. My baby didn't like nobody. No, she didn't even like me. Water is so good. I love water. Anyway, I only got two. And I think it's important to say I only have one baby daddy. And my husband only got one baby mama. That's me, right? And it is so much work. It is so much work. Like, what people don't understand about having children is that it's not just about the child and it's not just about you as the parent. It is also about the other parent. In fact, I would argue that having a child is more about the other parent than the individual who's having the child or the child him or herself. Oh, my water getting low. Matcha tea. Look. I think that's enough. It's kind of sweet. Anyway, even with that, my daughter, we used to have black tea, Lipton, classic Southern sweet tea. And, it's, I guess, a tip. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't have black tea, mainly because of the caffeine. A major part of being pregnant is making sure you stay hydrated, you know. Oh, that's deep. This perfectly. This is right here is pretty good. Well, yeah. Anyway, so when I got pregnant with Junior, he didn't care. He's a pretty cool guy. I knew he was a boy from the time he was gonna see. I knew he was just laid back, and I just had this strong admiration for the female figure. That's how I knew it. It had to be a boy. Either it was a boy, or it was gonna be one of them rainbow girls. So I had him, no problem. Then I got pregnant with Jazz, and when I tell you I could not stand a pitcher of black tea. Like, I mean, I would drink it, but I always felt like something was missing? Oh, yeah, that's good. And so now that I've had Jazz, I prefer green tea. Like she loves green tea. She's always loved green tea. And her absolute favorite tea is matcha. And then her second favorite, I think, is rooibos tea. And I really didn't care for the different type of teas. I just stuck to what I grew up on, which was black tea. But anyway, now matcha is my jam forever, and that's another thing. After you have a baby, it changes you forever. And needless to say, most women will tell you because women, they get to have an opinion in Western society. Oh, that's good. But anyway, on the flip side, men they go through a lot of changes too. Like ever since we had our kids, my husband, man, I'm that guy. I mean, he is way more family oriented out of nowhere. Like when we were together, it was just me and him. It was like he was like the ultimate bachelor. Never. I'm grateful we never had to worry about like infidelity or anything like that. But one thing about him, he was very individualistic. He was very, him like a man's man. He does his thing. He doesn't let anybody get in the way of what he wants to do. Well, anyway, this whole being bored thing. I would say I got my ducks in a row. Married before I carried, all that good stuff, and it is so much work. It's so much work, and even now, like I've given myself a break. Like the kids, they're down for a nap. They took me down for a nap too with them. Like we get up in the morning. And one thing that we've been doing is changing up our breakfast routine. I started realizing that, grits, eggs, pancakes, buttermilk biscuits, waffles, like that's just, intro to like diabetes. You know what I mean? So I was like, I started thinking, I was like, why not we just have some fruit in the morning or whatever? They've changed my whole routine. And that's the thing about raising children, actively raising them. Like they're going to change your mind. They're gonna change the way that you're doing things because they're different people. And God bless you. Well, yeah, bless you if you have more than one child, because you gotta kind of, if you're really into it, you gotta kind of find a middle ground with the two children. Piggying back again, Jazz loves matcha, Junior loves black tea, and the best way to meet in the middle is to give them green tea. She a compromise, she likes the green tea, but her whole thing is it has to be flavored. Junior, he'll drink green tea, but he only likes certain flavors. So either I'm caught making two pitchers of tea, or I got to figure out what works for both of them. And yes, this is a lot of work. This is why I always tell people do not rush into having children. It's a lot of work. Fire truck just went by. Sounds like a fast car behind the fire truck is going down out there. But anyway, yeah, it kind of bothers me. It's like, and these main people that be talking about they bored with kids, the kids be bad as all get. I mean, the kids be, and when I say bad, I'm not saying like the child is like, bad. I'm saying that the child is just not being raised properly. There are so many things that this parent need to be doing. They, and then it's the same ones, the same parents that be wanting to turn up and everything else, which is crazy to me because I mean they be having like a 6 month old. And this is why I had to get off of Facebook too. I got tired of Facebook. In fact, I'm just going ahead, confession moment. Facebook was never something I ever wanted to do. I got on Facebook during a time where it was supposed to be for like college, and prospective college students. And, now it's just a place where people go to have a meltdown. Like it's like no, like it's Facebook is like the place where people go when they just not doing nothing. It's a place where you go to complain and harass people who are happy is how I feel about the platform. So I eliminated it. I kind of, right now I'm taking like a hiatus. I didn't deactivate it, but I don't know. I'm just getting to a point in my life where, I'm in my 30s, and that's the time when you gotta chill, man. Because the next thing you know, you'll be 40. and then you'll be 50, and your joints, your knees and your elbows, they kind of give you a status reminder of where you are in life. And you should take heed to that, because with your elbows, you'll end up dropping things, and with your knees, you might just fall. But yeah, I got plenty to do. I got plenty to do all the time. Like, every room in this house, every time I clean up one, my son come and tear it up, my daughter come and tear it up. And so I go to another room to clean up, then I come back to that room, clean it up. And then after I go to clean out one room, then, they getting hungry. You gotta feed them, I cook. And then after I'm done cooking, yeah, I gotta clean that up too. And then while I'm cooking, they're having an argument in the living room. They don't even really watch TV like that, but they just like flipping through applications. And oh, every now and then they will buy a subscription without my knowledge. I have learned to password protect the TV. Like, and I've even gone as far as to get like a Fire Stick, because I don't even let the basic TV with the apps. I don't do that no more, because I have settings on my Amazon account that does not allow our children, my children, me and my husband's children, to just click random apps on the basic TV, because our son just kept subscribing and purchasing everything. We had like a designated credit card for subscriptions, and all of a sudden, the subscriptions were catching up with the balance of the card. And I mean, we were buying we had like the highest top of the line premium packages and everything else. And I was like, I don't remember doing none of that. And then I asked my husband, I was like, hey, well, when did you start, getting into all these applications? Are you okay? And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I only have, basically I just watch one. I don't know what you're talking about. And then, what I did was, here's another thing about being bored as a mom that I don't get. I started stalking my son. Like, like, this sounds crazy, but at the time he was like, maybe like 18 months old. So like what I just started doing was just kind of slowly following him around the house. And this was, as you could imagine, before Jazz even started walking. I think she was an arm baby at the time. So, I started following him, and then I watch his routine, and this guy will walk through the house as if we're his roommates, and just start clicking through stuff, going through drawers. And I didn't know kids did that before the age of 2. That just blew my mind. Like right now, my son is getting up for a nap. You know what time it is? It's time to go take him to do potty training. I take him to the bathroom, and then by the time he gets up, maybe his sister will wake up and be like, "Oh, where's my brother?" And then now that she's walking and she goes to the bathroom because she's seen him do it a few times, now I gotta potty train her. Potty training boys is different than potty training girls. And then you gotta have enough energy to celebrate when they get to the potty on time. I check in with their dad. He's working around the clock. Sometimes he sleeps, sometimes he works nights, sometimes he works early morning, sometimes he works midday. It just depends on how the freight is moving. And it's like, it's a well-oiled machine. So I guess the theory that I'm coming up with, bored parents, I understand that people need a break from being a parent. I get it. But the bored ones, it's like, I shouldn't say this, but I don't think they're really understanding parenting. Or maybe they don't have an interest in parenting, like we do.